staff in each one of your alliances, I will kindly ask that if you are not one of my alliance leaders, to place yourselves on mute. My alliance leaders are going to be Yuki for Alliance C and Mishi for Alliance A. I know we didn't talk about it before, Mishi, but well, you're welcome.
But you didn't tell me about this.
You're fine. You're just, so what's going to basically happen is that if any communication needs to be kind of brought up to the general discourse of people, please filter it through party chat first. And then your party lead will just basically share with the group, so we don't have a bunch of people talking over one another. If there's something that's kind of like silly little, or not silly little, that's not the quite a phrase. If something is a little bit more complicated and like with the point you're trying to get and you need to speak, of course you may come off mute. All of my helpers do have the power to server mute people if we do hear too much background noise of any kind. So please just be kind and cordial to people. Ultimately, if there are multiple people off mute, we do not want people speaking over one another. Let us go have some fun. Uh-oh. Who wasn't ready? Make sure you hit that accept button. That's Prog 2 point, I guess.
Prog 1, stay awake. Prog 2, get into the instance.
Someone hit accept, please. Thank you. It was just like, one, shame on us, two, shame on you. Alright. I am currently going to assume that nobody knows anything. So for the time being, we will set up things for just phase 1, and we will worry about getting to phase 2 when we get there. For phase 1 stuff, if you want to look at the Google Doc that is linked underneath the NASE preliminary resources document on nace.gg/cod, that goes through all of the mechanics fairly succinctly, TLDR style-esque. And that will be what I am referencing here for our first part. Enjoy the cutscene, it's a fairly nice cutscene. Alrighty. First, we will be setting up light parties. In each alliance, light party 1 will be north front. Light party 2 will be back to the south. You will make sure you're with your alliance. Make sure you're with your alliance. Mr. Homie, make sure that you're here with Alliance B. You're here with Alliance B, Mr. Homie. Over here. Look at the bee barker. My Reaper friend, Mr. Homie. Come over here to the bee marker. Over here to the bee marker. There we go. Oh, over here. Are you in voice?
They are. Yeah.
Okay, these will be our light parties for light party mechanics later on. And we want to, in general, you want to linger around your light party side. You do not want to be not in your light party. Mr. Homie, you will not in light parties. You're not in Alliance C, you're in Alliance B. So please come here towards the middle. The first sets of mechanics that are going to happen are some hands or some swords coming out. We want to either get underneath the wrists of that's down, or we're going to get out if it's 2 swords. We'll have a raid wide, followed by coming into Grim Embrace. Grim Embrace, you're going to be watching the hand tell when you are getting a tether. If the hand is forward, you're going to have your back to the wall later, and you're going to move forward when your debuff expires. If the hand is backward, you're going to face the wall and back away whenever your debuff resolves. Other things I'm going to explain as they go along. Someone's got a hot mic, if you don't mind muting that, please. Thank you. Let's get some stuff in. Yuki, do you want to be our main tank right now?
Yes, sure. All tanks should have their stance on it all times.
All tanks shall have their stance on at all times. Please be mindful of your co-tank. Whenever they have 5 stacks, you need to swap enmity with them because there is multiple autos happening and debuffs happening all at once. Mr. Homie, are you ready? They are ready. Go ahead. Make sure stances is on, food's on, all that fun stuff. We'll be getting up close and personal with the boss with these hand donuts. The hand is on the ground, we're under its wrist. We are under the left hand wrist. Under the right hand wrist. And get ready for a raid wide. Mitigation out. There will be a bleed with this raid wide. Loose spread around your light party marker so you can see what you are tethered to. Loose spread. Do not be on top of another person. That is a front-facing hand. Front-facing hand. Means you're gonna have your back to the wall later. Back-facing hand. If you're tethered to this, you're gonna face the wall when your debuff resolves. Individual responsibility on debuffs. Follow your debuff timer. Look to the outside. We have lasers going off. First set of lasers is telegraph. Second set is telegraph. Dodge into the first lasers. Dodge into the second lasers. That's 4. This is a suck. Everybody out beyond your party marker. Beyond your party marker. Out of the middle. Out of the middle. Back into the middle. Cleanse dooms if you can. There might be some. Cleanse some dooms. This is alliance stacks with wild charge. So you might be some death. We'll see what happens. Yep, probably. Okay, let's go ahead and reset. So, first thing that will happen in the phases, we'll get those hands. You just need to basically stock in your head that which hand you have for later. Your debuff could be any duration from like 30 seconds to like a minute plus. So just keep that in mind. We will have, after that telegraph happens, we will have the lasers around the outside. We notate where the first lasers are, the second lasers are. We stand in a spot where we can dodge both. Dodge into the first lasers, then dodge into the second lasers. Then the boss will cast one of 3 things. Either death, flare, or arrow. Death is a pull, suck in. We want to be out beyond our party markers, our alliance markers. And then if there's going to be an AoE in the middle, anybody that gets hit by that's going to get doomed. And then there's a donut. You need to go into the donut after the AoE in the middle goes off. And then we'll start with the debuff resolution. When your debuff is resolving, go to the wall. And you either put your back to the wall or face the wall. You're going to get a heavy, and you're going to need to dodge your hand to leave it. Oh, we have a DC. Mr. Homie, are you with us? You can come off mute if you are with us. I also have an extra person in here. Mr. Homie's back. Awesome. Quick ready check, please. Any initial questions? I don't want to overload mechanics-wise. I kind of want you guys to see it a little first, and then Ms., whenever you are ready. Totally understandable, yes. Best learns with the body. Everyone can move up. You don't have to be all the way back in Narnia for the start. You can actually get fairly close. This is out beyond Bravo, out beyond Bravo. To the right wrist. Raid Wide is on deck. Mitigation. Loose spread around your alliance areas. So you can see what your tether is. First set of tethers are out. That is a front hand. Front hand. Front hand means back to the wall. This is a backhand. Backhand means facing the wall. Lasers are spawning on the outside. 3 set on the southeast. Dodge into 1. Dodge into 2. Death 4 out beyond your alliance markers or the nearest alliance marker to you. Out of the middle. In. Cleanse any dooms. Make sure we're tank swapping as needed. Tank swap as needed. Don't let people get beyond. Debuffs are resolving. Alliance stacks. Tanks in front with mitigation of your alliance. Align with your marker if you can. This hurts. 1, 2, 3, and 4. Help out Alliance A if you can. Lasers on the outside. We have 3 in the middle. Dodge into 1. Dodge into 2. Blade of Darkness. We are under the left wrist. Anti-knockbacks.
Terror.
Anti-knockbacks. Another set of debuffs resolving. Try to help out Alliance A and see if we can. This might be a wipe, but we'll try and see what we can see. Flares go out to your Alliance marker. Out to your Alliance marker. Everyone else under the boss. And this will be a raid wide, I think, the end of the phase. Yep, raid wide. If you know what happens next, please feel free. This will probably be where we wipe though. And that's okay. Whee! Welcome to phase 2. So I don't know how we wound up with 2 red meters. It's okay.
I got myself connected, just to let you know.
Okay, good.
I was getting frustrated.
It's all good. Alrighty. So there are 3 essentially main cycles to the first phase, and it is notated by whatever we start with. One set of cycles is we start with flares. We start with flares. Immediately after the flares, we will go into 6 light party stacks that we set up at the beginning. Then we will have the Blade of Darkness, the hand mechanic, either out or underneath the wrist. It will store mechanic. In the flare cycle, as opposed to those alliance wild charges, we will get a look away. There will be 2 clones on the outside, and the boss we need to look away from all 3. There are cloudlet lasers scattered throughout, as well as the resolving of the arrows and deaths. Second cycle is the death cycle. It'll start with death. We'll get the death draw in donut. It'll store mechanic. Then we'll get the particle beam, the rapid particle beams. Those are alliance wild charges. Both tanks need to be in the front with mitigation. It hits both of you spicily. You need to be in front of everybody. If anybody is in front of those tanks, you will drop and die. There is no survivor. Not even if you're a monk. Sorry, not sorry. It will go into cloudlet lasers afterward. It will do a Blade of Darkness. If we are in death or arrow cycle, we will immediately use an anti-knockback after that Blade of Darkness or towards the end of it, and to essentially ignore the arrow or the death that is about to happen, and then do whatever we need to. If it's death afterwards, move in afterwards. But basically, you can knock back immune the arrow and the death pull. If it's arrow cycle, we start with arrow. They'll store. We'll do particle beams and arrow cycle as well, or debuffs. Cloudlet lasers with the hand mechanic, with the sword release, and then flares beam. Any questions? If you feel the need to practice it, we're not in a rage state, feel free to drop your uptime and focus on the mechanics right now. Is tank immunity needed for any specific mechanics? Not right now. There are no strats around tank immunities. Make sure as you need to watch your co-tanks stacks, do not let them get above 6 stacks. You should be swapping enmity with them with a shirk. Just so that way that you're keeping the stacks balanced and not getting out of hand. Your healers will appreciate you. Any questions?
What's the big red wide so I can faint, since I'm the only one that can faint, I think?
The big raid, what is the Deluge of Darkness?
Okay.
You could either do it on that, or you could also feign on Rapid Sequence Party. That's the Alliance party wild charges. Let's do it 10 seconds. We don't have any dancers. Everyone lead up. You don't need to be back in Narnia. Oops, somebody really pulled. Under the right wrist. Out beyond Bravo. Out beyond Bravo. Raid wide with the bleed is on deck. Deluge of Darkness. Mitigation. Lean out towards your alliance area. Loose spread so you can see your tether. If you wanted to cheat sheet, put in Echo Chat what you have. This is backhand. Backhand means we're facing the wall. Front hand means your back is to the wall. First set of lasers. Second set of lasers. Move into first. Move into second. Flares. Flares to party markers. Flares to party markers. Everybody else under the boss. We will have light parties afterward. Go to your light party areas. Light party 1's front. Light party 2's back. And your alliance areas. Blade of Darkness under the left wrist. Left wrist. Left wrist. Debuffs are starting to resolve. Go to the wall if your debuff is going off. Everybody's... Death Blade redeemable. Look away from the clones of the boss. Towards A is safe. We're gonna have a wrist. Under the left wrist. Under the left wrist. Anti-knockbacks. Anti-knockbacks. Out. And then in. Lasers. There's gonna be some corner action going on here. Into seconds. And go ahead and come out. And then in the donut. I would go ahead and reset because we are gonna wipe this next thing anyways. Anything I can do to help people. I think people are getting a little frazzled over lots of things going on. If you are pushing buttons and doing rotation and you're dying to mechanics because you're not familiar with it, I encourage you to stop pushing buttons and just move and do the mechanics. This is a safe space. You can do that. It's perfectly fine. Yep. I'm calling the knockback resist whenever we're under the wrist. And I'll continue to do so. You should only be, you don't want to be using it at the beginning set. We want to be using it for the stored set. And I can definitely speak up if you are here. Light party split, so you want to be around your alliance markers, so these A, B, and C markers. So pretty much you're just going to go, light party 1's going to be front half of the arena towards the boss, and light party 2 is going to be behind. That's why I'm encouraging everybody to be staying around their alliance markers as much as you possibly can. It helps a lot with navigating through mechanics. They're good references for the pull-in and other stuff. Any other questions? We have a disconnect happening. Mr. Hobie, are you here with us? Still? I don't want to be that person, but if you're having disconnect issues, there are 23 other people here that I would rather not have their time spent waiting on somebody to reconnect constantly. You can come off mute if you are here. If you can stabilize it, more than fine and happy to keep having you. But I have to preserve the time of those around us. That's okay. Are you in the process of trying to get?
I'm gonna do it.
Okay.
Now, and then if it happens one more time, just if you have a backup, just message that person right now if it happens one more time.
Okay. So you're back online now, sir. Are you good?
I should be good now.
Okay.
But message the backup person just in case, because I don't want to
Sure.
mess up 23 other people's times.
I appreciate that. Ten-second countdown, please. Food check if anybody needs it. Yuki ever the optimist. Under the right wrist. Under the left. What a revolutionary concept. Get ready for a raid wild. Raid wild has to lead. Mitigation can go on the boss. Your healers will appreciate you. Hang out around your alliance marker. Alpha is left. Bravo is middle. Harvey is right. That is a backhand. This is a front hand. If you had a backhand, you're gonna face the wall. If you have a front hand, you're gonna keep your back to the wall. Lasers are incoming. Dodge first set of lasers. Dodge second set of lasers. Go into first. Go into second. Boss is casting arrow. This is a knockback from the middle. Use the Great Diamond as a key guide. Debuffs are starting to resolve. Arrow is getting stopped. Somebody's got a hot mic. Rapid sequence. This is life, or is it alliances? Go ahead and let the reset take place. Biggest thing I can recommend is that you have to pay attention to your own debuff. You need to be paying attention to when that is about to go off. You will see the countdown above your head. You need to be at the wall, so that way you are not accidentally cleaving anybody. You should not be getting at any point a doom. A doom is a failed mechanic, technically speaking. You cannot rely on healers to necessarily always cleanse you. Make sure that you're remembering which hand you have, so you can bait it properly outside of the arena and move away from it. You will want to start moving away. You will get a heavy debuff. You want to start moving away at 1 second on your heavy debuff. Let's go again. Out beyond Bravo. Remember, if you're still uncomfortable with mechanics, dropping uptime is perfectly fine. I'm okay seeing zeros. You do not have to hit buttons. I'd much rather you do the mechanics correctly than be dying to them. You're still learning. Grade wide, mitigation can go on the boss and on your party. Hang out around your alliance marker. That is a front hand. Front hand. You're gonna have your back, or you're gonna have your back to the wall. If you have the back hand now, you're gonna be facing the wall later. Moving away. Lasers coming out. First lasers are out. Second lasers are out. Be in a place where you can dodge both. Dodge into first. Flares are coming in. We have lots of time to get to our flare spots afterwards. Let the lasers dissolve. Go to your marker if you have a flare. And we are doing the light party stacks. Light party stacks. I'm missing friends up front in Bravo. I have nobody with me. Bravo will be underneath the boss there. Left wrist. Debuff's resolving. Arrow is being stored. Debuffs are resolving. Make sure you're not resolving a debuff in the middle of the arena. Look away from the boss and the ad. Torch Charlie is fine. We're about to be under a wrist. Under a wrist. The left wrist. Anti-knockbacks. Anti-knockbacks. Arm's length sure cast. This is arrow. At no point will you ever go in towards the middle in either one of those patterns. Lasers on the outside. Dodge 1. Dodge 2. Go into 1. Into 2. Knockback. Flood of Darkness. For raid wide. If you know where you're going, go ahead and head over in that way. If not, that's okay. We do not have enough people up to really navigate through this, so we can just kind of see some things at the moment. I'm not too terribly concerned since we are still kind of groggy first. Do not want to overrun. But we can see what kind of happens here. There are some ads on the outside. We have E9S fun party tiles on the inside. This is a shared raid wide. Basically, if we don't have enough people alive, people are gonna die. There's a lot of damage shared. Third Art of Darkness by Clones. Use telegraphing, please. We're about to have some towers. You can navigate the towers to the best of your ability. Go for it. If not, we'll probably die here. Yes, Bravo Light Party 1 will be under the boss, so that way people can get their uptime easily. Any questions? Anything I can help or assist with?
If she points her hand at the raid, that's you face away for that debuff. I want to get those two things figured out.
So if the hand is an open palm towards you, then you want to have your back to the wall.
Okay, that's back to the wall. Got it.
Back
And
to
the
the wall.
spaghetti hand.
If it's like she's coming to like grab you from behind, she's like that crap. She's gonna grab you by your holiday jingle balls. That means you want to face the wall.
Okay, thank you.
Mm-hmm. How many people are supposed to be hit by the stack marker, and how many markers are there per alliance? There are 2 for the... So you only have light parties if flare is first, and there will be 6 light party stacks. So there's 2 per alliance. Yes, someone just put an image in the Alliance B chat, if that helps. Also, yes, our Google Doc has a good reference there, if that helps as well. The NASE preliminary mechanics explanation. Any other questions? I think we're getting better about navigating the hands. I didn't see as many dooms. Let's keep going. Umbris, I just saw your DM. I will look at that after this call. Left wrist. Again, not hitting buttons is perfectly okay and understandable if you need to navigate mechanics. There is no shame. We are out beyond Bravo. Out beyond Bravo. Raid White is on deck. Mitigations. Hang out around your alliance marker, loose spread so you can see your tether. That is a backhand. If you're tethered, you're gonna face the wall later. If you're tethered, you're gonna face the wall later. And then these, everyone else, is a front hand. You're gonna have your back to the wall. Your back to the wall. Lasers are spawning in on the outside. We're identifying the first set charging. First set charging, second set charging. Dodge both first and seconds. Move into first. Move into second. Arrow is coming. We will want to get knocked back from the gray tiles. Color dish tiles. Beautiful. Debuffs are starting to resolve. Go to the edge. Please do not be out in the middle if you can. Remember, you do need to move. You cannot stay still whenever you're baiting your hand. This is wild charges. Tanks in front. Mitigations. 1, 2, 3, 4. Multiple damage. Things resolving. Move away. Lasers. First set. Second set. Dodge into first. Dodge into second. Blade of Darkness under the left wrist. Anti-knockbacks, anti-knockbacks. We are ignoring the mechanic in the middle. In. Flares to your respective light party markers. Debuffs resolving. Raid Wide is on deck. Make sure people are healthy. There's some mitigation on the boss. This doesn't hurt too bad. Save a little bit of it. If you know what you're doing, go ahead and head over there. Again, I just kind of want people to see this. We're still kind of practicing phase 1, so I'm not terribly concerned right now with how this winds up. We can go over a little bit of this. Still got a little bit of... Third act of darkness, Art of Darkness. The boss is your ads are telegraphing things. Two hands are a partner mechanic. One hand is a spread mechanic. Death, yes. Death comes for us all. Any questions about phase 1 things? It's coming along. I think people still need to... You don't want to wait till you see the hand AoE to move away. You just need to make sure that you move away in the correct direction. Know that the cleave, if you bait it correctly, the cleave should be at the wall. If you don't bait it correctly, it makes it more difficult to dodge it. So make sure that you let it snap toward you. It will snap in the direction it should, you want it to, around like 1 to 2 seconds left on the primary debuff, not on the heavy debuff. The heavy debuff is when you want to start moving away. If we want to very briefly talk about tiles here. So, we're going to do something a little bit different if you've been in Party Finder already. I personally for the idea of this a little bit better. So, just listen here real quickly while I kind of navigate through saying what this is going to entail. So, what's going to happen here, I'm going to start with each alliance and kind of go down the line right here. We are looking at the Phase 2 tiles for document right now for our spread positions. Right now, I think there might be a typo in the text, so we're going to follow the diagram for right now. So Alliance A, you're going to have Healer 1, Main Tank, Melee 1, in a line to the left of the A marker. And we will have ranged 1 to the right of the A marker. On the 1 marker to the right of it, we will have Healer 2 from Alliance A, off tank, Melee 2 on the right side of the 1 marker, and Range 2 on the left side of the marker. Please go there now as I'm going through this. I'm going to try to go through it quickly. Alliance B, we will have a Healer 1, Melee 1, Main Tank by marker Bravo. We will have Healer 2, Melee 2, off tank by the 2 marker. Both range DPS will be to the right of the A marker. Alliance C will have Main Tank, Healer 1, Melee 1 at C. Off tank, Healer 2, Melee 2 at 4. And then both range DPS to the left of the 1 marker. Everybody should be with a tank DPS and a healer besides the 3 ranged people that will be on the outside. You are just going to be sandwiched between your healers on the inside, and that's perfectly fine. We will want to have our spreads in the middle from left to right. This is all the way across the line. HMT, then TMH. So left side is HMT, right side is TMH, going left to right. We're following the diagram, not necessarily the text. I think the text has a typo. We just updated this last night. I am missing my Melee 1. Mr. Homie, you are not in Alliance C. You are in Alliance B. You're over here with me at the Bravo marker. I'm thinking. So this will be our tile positions. Mr. Homie, you're just here on the Bravo marker. So there will be there will be a box in the middle with little added pluses on the outside. So everyone's gonna have their own tile here in the middle. The number 1 rule of tiles is do not step on the same tile as someone else. Give them space. On the outside, for pairs, you are pairing with the person you are across from, lined up. So healer from Alpha is with range 1 from Bravo. Main tank from Alpha is with their range, and then Melee 1 is with range 2 from Bravo, and vice versa on the other side. Any questions on this setup positions? For the cleaves, for the art of dark, the 3rd art of darkness, she will cleave left or right. That's a left room or right room cleave. If it is 2 lasers, both held up at the same time, those are partners. It is a proximity bait. We will want to have the we will want to have the Alliance A people being in close on the ads hitbox at north, south, west, southeast. Perspective, or no, just do north, south, and like your west, east perspective, just so that way that's easy to right now. You will match up there with your buddy, and then the ranged people will be, all of the ranged DPS will be behind. Make sure that you give it space, but close enough to soak the partner with them. If it spreads, the range from Alpha will be in the middle, and then everybody else will kind of be at where they are on the diagram, with the Bravo and Charlie range people being north-south spread lasers. So we only want 1 laser coming through the middle, and that's going to be straight across. That's it. Any questions? I know you're going to see it for right here. As long as you understand the setups right now, we'll see it and live it, learn it. I want everybody to focus on mechanics right now still in Phase 1, cleaning up Phase 1. Let's get less death. We should be getting comfortable with hands, death, and arrows. Remember that we are ignoring being in the middle, regardless if it's death or arrow, followed up from the hand, the one that's stored. We are knockback immuning that. So nobody should be middle. Everybody should be knockback immuning that particular follow-up one. And it out. We are out here. Out, out, out. And looking for wrist. To the right wrist. Raid wide. Loose spread around your alliance marker so you can see what you're tethered to. Check out your tether if you have one. This is a backhand. Backhand. Backhand means face the wall. Front hand means your back is going to be towards the wall. Lasers on the outside. First lasers are telegraphed. Second lasers are telegraphed. There is a 3-set at southwest. 3-set at southwest. Dodge into 1. Flare is being loaded. Dodge into 2. Flares. Wait. Out to your markers. Out to your alliance markers. Everyone else is underneath the boss. Light parties. Light parties. Under the left wrist, left wrist. Here comes a set of things. Another set of debuffs resolving. Move away from your hand. Break, look away from the boss and the 2 clones. Underneath the wrist. Left wrist. Anti-knockback. Yeah, anti-knockbacks out of the middle. In. Lasers from the outside. We have a 3-set at southwest. 3-set at southwest. Move into 1, move into 2. Another set of debuffs resolving. Knockback from the middle, knockback from the middle. And we should have a raid wide on deck. We can pick some people up. That'd be spectacular. Raid wide is on deck. This is an FYI. Unfortunately, all of these raid wides go through. Try to see if you can get to your spots. Mitigations on the boss before you leave it. If you have any to spare. Going to your respective little quadrants. Don't move if you're in the middle. You are in your spots and you need to respect the people around you. Dark Dominion is going to be a raid wide. Third Art of Darkness being loaded from the outsides. Do what you can. Just practicing mechanics. Slowly getting along there. I am entertaining questions from Phase 1 right now. I'm not going to entertain questions from Phase 2 at the moment because I still want to make sure that we are all set and situated for Phase 1 stuff. Also, repair check, just in case. If anybody needs repair, Mr. 1 here in the middle can repair for you. Yes, make sure you got some foods. Water and posture check. Does anyone have any phase 1 questions? Yeah, I think a couple of people are bioing, so just be quick, splash and go. Why does everything hurt? It does. Make sure co-tanks are keeping an eye on your fellow co-tank. Don't let the stacks get on too late or too hard and heavy. Like the inner core. It's 2 marker B for B2. The B marker is for the out, and for also the Alliance B just in general. So anytime the boss does an out during phase 1 or at the opener, that's our out. Like you want to be beyond that threshold for that. And then that's also for just Alliance B to line up. It's also for the arrow and death. It's just a reference. I'm gonna do a quick raid check to see if we got people back. We might still have people AFK. Also, 10-second countdown, Yuki. Let's go. Food check if anybody needed that food refresh. Remember, if you're still having difficulty with mechanics, focus on the mechanics over uptime. Just leave. Don't touch buttons. It's okay. Just walk around the arena. Nothing wrong with it. Nobody's judging. Safe space. Everybody is out beyond Bravo. Out beyond Bravo. Raid wide on deck. Mitigations can go out. Hang out around your alliance marker. Loose spread so you can see your tether. Loose spread so you can see your tether. Check out your tether. This is a backhand. Backhand. Backhand is facing the wall. This is front hand. Your back's going to be towards the wall. Laser clouds coming from the outside. Here comes first telegraph. Here comes second telegraph. Dodging into one. Flare is being loaded. Wait to go out for flares. Flares can go out to markers when safe. Everyone else is under the boss. Light parties. Tank swaps when needed. Blade of Darkness underneath the right wrist. Right wrist. Debuffs are starting to resolve. Go to your closest wall. Don't feel like you need to go all the way to the edge. You don't need to go haul ass to the opposite edge. You can go to the closest edge. It's fine. Step away from your hand. Look away from the clones towards Charlie is safe. About to go underneath the wrist. Under the left wrist. Anti-knockbacks. Do not be middle. Do not go middle. Do not go middle. Now in. Lasers on the outside. Dodge 1. Into 1. Into 2. Knockback from the middle. Use the gray dark tiles as a knockback marker. Raid wide. See if we can get people up and see a little bit more of the phase. Put some mitigation on the boss before you walk away. Go to where you were supposed to go, where we set you up before. Make sure that you're not on top of people, that you're in the right area. About to be a raid quad. Oh, there. Stay on tiles. Do not move around the middle, please. Do not move around the middle, Mr. Homie. You gotta stay on your tile. Come towards and stand in the tower, but don't cross onto someone else's tile. Do what we can. This might hurt. That was much better going along here. Do we have any lingering questions about Phase 1 stuff? Just an FYI, this is a donut. Any lingering Phase 1 questions? We are still having a lot of deaths in Phase 1. A lot of dooms. When I'd say also for the gray tile, the darker tiles for the arrow, you want to be, there's like a square or a diamond of 4, or a set of 4. You want to be towards the outer edge of it, and it's like the perfect spot for the arrow knockback. When is it safe to turn around if you have front-facing hand? I would say whatever your debuff falls off, around like that 1 second mark, the main debuff. And you're gonna have like 1 second, you're gonna have 1-2 seconds on your heavy. And you could be like, just moving in that direction while the heavy is persistent. You could also pop sprint there. There's not really anywhere else to use sprint. Sprint is a cooldown. If you need extra time for movement, sprint helps negate a little bit of the heavy. Everyone is clear now. P2 stuff. Everybody's clear where you're supposed to be for our setup positions for the start. I know, Mr. Homie, I had to rescue you across the arena because you were going again over to Alliance. You're going over to 3. That's not where you are. You're going to be with me in the inner northwest. Make sure that you're on your own tile. You do not want to go to your other spot. What alliance? You're in Alliance A, Kelsier. Are you melee 1 or melee 2? You should be 1 or 2 from the light party at the beginning that we set up. Are you in the front light party or the back light party? Back. If you're in the back, you're melee 2. So you're going to be over at 3. Back is back, your light party 2, front, your light party 1. Good questions. Anyone else have questions? Alright. Two other things about Phase 2. Whenever we spawn into Phase 2 and are set, there are 4 Atmoses on the outside of the arena. All of them need to die ASAP. If they are left alive, they give buffs to the boss in the middle, as well as they start draining the life from people randomly. They have very low health. Ranged DPS can just bop them real quick and they'll die. Anytime that you see them pop up, their first priority. Just bop them, they go down. We're not killing the clone ads. It's an unrolled weapon situation where the percent damage dealt to them will get compiled into the boss later on whenever they disappear. Just as an FYI. For the third Art of Darkness, you want to make sure that the boss is faced out to your respective west-east edge. This allows for better control and dodging of it. All dodges and anything partner-related will happen true north, not boss relative. So you're going into the respective spread positions there accordingly. The towers on the outside should be on the north tower, or north or west tower, should be the set of THM from the Alliance, from Alliance A. And then all of the range DPS are going to be south and east, depending on wherever the towers lie. As far as the partner side of things go, it should be healer from A, range DPS, top range DPS person. You're pairing at the north. Alpha and the range DPS from A and the main and the tank from A are going to be paired together on the west, east respectively, and then the melee and then the south range DPS will be on the south side. Remember that the A people are the A tank healer, melee DPS are baiting the proximity partners. Inside people, we don't have a whole heck of a lot to worry about besides making sure that we just couple up properly for towers. Let's go. To the left wrist. Out. Everybody is out. Out, out, out. John Bravo. Here comes the raid one. Excuse me. Hang out around your alliance marker. Loose spreads so you can see if you have a tether. That is a backhand. Backhand, you are facing the wall. Front hand, your back is towards the wall. Lasers spawning in on the outside. We have a 3 set at the southwest, all clumped together. Dodge into 1. Flares are loading. Wait to move for flares. Dodge into the middle. Wait. Dodge out. Take your flares. Go to the right spots. And everybody else gets the boss. Light party. Under the right wrist. Debuffs resolving. Next set of debuffs resolving. Another set of debuffs resolving. Look away. Under the left wrist. Anti-knockbacks, anti-knockbacks, anti-knockbacks. Lasers spawning in for set. Dodge into 1. Dodge into 2. Debuffs resolving. Death. Everybody out. Out. Beyond your party marker or the nearest party marker. Out. In. Raid wide. Head out to your respective prep positions. Everyone's on their own tile in the middle, not staying on someone else's tile. Dark Dominion. Third Art of Dark Dance. Kona, can you go to the one person? Or never mind, that works too. Perfect. Damn. Jeff. And you still died, Yuki. How come? Only 14? Where's the 16? If you need the list of the cycle order of things, there is a sequence list in our NASE mechanics rough explanations that as the moment the first thing happens in phase 1, it follows boom, 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 boom down the list. I don't really want to go into too much questions about phase 2 because we still aren't going in with everybody alive, and that immediately throws it off. Really, really, really want to focus on phase 1. If you died in phase 1 this past time, regardless if it was just to a Doom cleanse being missed or something else, I want you to not press buttons on this next run. You are just moving. You are just doing mechanics. I promise it will help. Countdown for the please. Under the right wrist. Under the left. Grade wide. Remember, if you died at this phase at any point this last run, I want you to not press any buttons. Your healer, obviously, please heal. But if you are a DPS or tank, just be focusing in your ability as a tank. So, just focus on front-facing hand. Front-facing hand. Front-facing hands back to the wall. Back hand. You're gonna face the wall. Lasers on the outside. 3 sets of lasers in the middle and the southwest. In to the first set. Into the second. Flares are coming out. Wait to go out for flares. Go to your alliance marker for flares. Everyone else under the boss. Light parties in your alliance sectors. Blade of Darkness, everybody is out beyond Bravo, out beyond Bravo, out beyond Bravo. Debuffs are resolving, stay at the wall. An arrow is being stored. Move away from your hand. Look away. over wrist, under the left wrist. Anti-knockbacks. Do not go center. Do not go center. Stay here. Stay here. There is never ever a reason to go into the middle. Lasers on the outside. Move into the first set of lasers. Move into the second. I have a mechanic that will cast. Death, everybody beyond your party markers. Beyond your party markers. Out. In. Grade wide. Try to pre-position yourself where you need to be. Umbrisk, your gear is broken. If you're not where you're supposed to be, do your best. It's okay. Third Art of Darkness, just try to practice the dodges. Try to set yourselves up as best you can. Don't hurt. It's okay. I'm still alive. There they go. Alright. I still want people who are dying in phase 1. Yes, just more reps. I do not want you to touch buttons. There's still too much death happening in phase 1 that shouldn't be happening. Practice the mechanics that you're struggling with. Ask questions if you need to. I want you guys to feel comfortable with those mechanics. This is a safe space for learning. Go again. Basically, I want to see more zeros on my board. I don't see enough zeros on my board. There are way too many deaths for as much numbers I see. Out, everybody is out. Under the right wrist. Grade wide. I want to see damage plummet. I want to see less numbers coming out. I see too many numbers. This is front hand. Put it in echo chat if you need to. If you're a front hand, your back is to the wall. If you're a back hand, you're facing the wall. /E. Lasers on the outside. First set of lasers is telegraph, second set of lasers is telegraph. Dodge into 2. Arrow is being locked. Get ready for a knockback. A knockback. First set of debuffs are going to start to resolve. Move. Good. Next set of debuffs. Oh, Rapid Secrets Particle Beam first. Like, or Alliance stacks, tanks in front, Wild Charge. Start chewing through our Alliance. Debuffs resolving. Move away from your hand. Lasers on the outside, laser 1s. Laser 2s. Into laser 1s. Into laser 2s. Under the left wrist, sorry, anti-knockbacks. All over the place. We've gotten spoiled with flare first. Let's reset. That was our first time not getting flare first. A couple pulls. Just know that don't get comfortable with any particular pattern. It can be any set as it goes through. You don't want to be too close to the boss as the lines are thick. I think one of the tanks from Alliance B got clipped by a neighboring laser. Let's go again. We got 19 minutes. Under the left wrist. Under the right. Braid wide. Check out your tether. Front-facing hand. Your back's gonna be to the wall. Back hand. Laser 1s are telegraphed. Laser 2s are telegraphed. Keep an eye on stacks on your coat tank. Dodge into 1. Dodge into 2. Boss cast. This is arrows, then you knockbacks. You don't have to go to your alliance marker, just outside of the diamonds closest to you. Check out stacks on your toe tanks. An arrow being stocked, one set of debuffs resolving. And then we have our alliance stacks. Make sure that you're out, give room for Jesus, tanks in front. One, 2, 3, 4. Set of debuffs resolving. Go to your closest wall. Lasers on the outside. Tank swaps as needed. Laser 1s are telegraphed. Laser 2s are telegraphed. We're going to have a set of 3 at the southwest. Into 1. Into 2. Blade of Darkness. Underneath the left wrist. Anti-knockbacks. Anti-knockbacks. Do not go middle. Do not go middle. Do not go middle. Beautiful. Debuffs are resolving. Flares incoming. Flares out to your alliance marker. Everyone else under the boss. Tank swaps as needed. We should be transitioning soon. Raid wide. Look at that. We only have 2 people that are going into this, and they're both getting up. Good job, everybody. All right, everybody, go to where you should be going to. Put mitigation on the boss before you leave. Make sure you get any mitts from your group. Go to your quadrants. Go to your sides. Make sure you are on your respective tile as this comes in. You're on the inside. Do not do-si-do around. Kill the Atmos on the outside. Range people. Atmos need to die. This is a raid wide. Third Order of Darkness is... Party chat is good to chat about this if need be. Towers. Second thing. And last thing with towers. Maybe? You will take that. We will take that. It's okay. We have some people alive. We can see some things. Or maybe not. Ghastly Gloom, this is a donuts. Oh, never mind, I'm dead. That didn't look too bad. Let's get some more reps in it. We can talk about it afterwards since we are kind of towards the almost end of our time. Ghastly Goon, I mean, you know? We can talk about that later. It's okay, let's see more of it. We could have a debrief afterwards. Pull again, please. I'd rather get you guys some reps, and we can always digest afterwards. To the left. We'll help this time. Everybody's out. That's your 4 hops.
Yeah.
You see them Dragoon and Red Knight back to us. Again, if you still feel like you need the extra practice with this phase, feel free to not push buttons. There is no shame in that. We are not in an enraged state. I'd much rather you practice and feel comfortable with the mechanics than try to throw rotation in and learn mechanics at the same time. Multitasking is a myth. Light spreads. Backhand. If you have a backhand, you are facing the wall later. Front hand. Your back is to the wall later. Again, drop up time if you need it. Lasers coming in from the outside. First set. We do have a set of 2 lasers in the southeast, FYI. 2 lasers in the southeast. Move to 1. Move to 2. Arrows. This will be knockbacks. Closest diamond set. Debuffs resolving. Arrow being stuck. Rapid sequence. This is alliance wide. This will hurt if your tank's down. Just prepare for people to start dropping like flies a little bit. Another set of debuffs resolving. Lasers on the outside. First set, second set. Into the first. Into the second. Under the left wrist. Anti-knockbacks, anti-knockbacks. Out of the middle. Flares. See if we can make sure everyone is up in time. Here comes a raid wide. Mitts on the boss, mitts on your party. Go out to your preset position for phase 2. Dark Dominion, little shared raid wide across the alliance. We have clones facing out toward your west and east respective sides. First clone tell, second clone tell. 2 lasers are partners. 1 big laser together is spreads. Go to your spots. Almost. We getting there, we getting there. Remember that if it is the 2 tentacle hands from the clones, it is a proximity bait. The Alliance A tank, healer, melee DPS are baiting the proximity. Your partners are behind. Let's go again. More pulls. We're learning with the body.
You're definitely more bodies.
Mm-hmm. Under the left. We're getting really good in phase 1. Keep up that good progress. We're having a lot of less deaths coming into phase 2. Everybody is out. Out beyond Bravo. You still need practice through this phase. There is no shame in not pressing buttons. To make sure that you don't get doomed or damaged down or die. Loose spread so you can see what you got. This is front hand. Front hand. Your back will be to the wall later. Backhand. We'll face the wall later. First set of lasers. There are 3 lasers in the middle, left, right. Into the first lasers. Into the second. We have death out beyond the party markers, out beyond the party markers, out beyond the party markers. Out of the middle if you got sucked in. In. First set of debuffs being resolved. This will be the Alliance line wild charges. Takes in front. 1, 2, 3, 4. Debuffs to your closest wall. Debuffs to your closest wall. Move away. Lasers. Swaps if you need to, tanks. 3 lasers in the middle and the southeast. Into 1. Into 2. Blade of Darkness underneath the left wrist. Anti-knockbacks, anti-knockbacks, anti-knockbacks. Wait, now in. Flares out. Make sure you're swapping tanks, make sure you're swapping. Grade wide. We do have quite a bit of folks on the shore. Do our best. Practice what you know. Mitigations are out. Go out to your respective sides. We will have some bodies on the floor. Grade wide. That is a shared rare. This might be spicy because we have bodies on the floor. Towers. Mitigation. Just gotta keep focusing on being clean through phase 1. We gotta go get into phase 2 clean before I even want to combat up phase 2 because that's half the battle right now. Go again. Probably be our last pull because we're getting about 4-minute pulls right now. Really, 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 really focus. No damage downs, no dooms. I have to. Under the right wrist. Under the left wrist. Why? Loose spread around your alliance area. That is a front-facing hand. Your back is going to be the wall later. That is a backhand. Backhand, you're going to face the wall. First set of lasers coming from the outside. Second set of lasers. We have a 2 next to each other in the southeast. Dodge into 1. Dodge into 2. Death. Everybody out beyond your nearest party marker. Doesn't have to be yours, just the nearest one. Out of the middle if you got sucked in. In. Alliance stacks, wild charge, tanks in front, bit, 2, 3, 4. Debuffs resolving, dodge hands, clouds on the outside, swap tanks if you need to, first set of lasers, second set of lasers. Into the first set, into the second set. We're going underneath the left wrist when it's time. The left wrist. Anti-knockbacks, anti-knockbacks. Do not be in the middle, do not be in the middle. In. Flares, get ready for flares. If you got a flare, go out beyond your party marker. Tell your friends you love them. Last set of debuffs. Move away from your hands. Great wide. Oh, looks like we got most people up. Community resistance. Mitigation on the boss and on your party. Head out toward your starting position. Make sure the Atmos are dead, which I believe they are. Very good. Dark Dominion, a little bit of damage. Reshare will be all up. Check out your clones and see if you have partners or spreads with your please. Inside people to your towers. Make sure you respect things appropriately. And I believe that was all we have time. Getting good consistency with phase 1, which if especially a bunch of you are not, this is your first foray into it, not bad. And hopefully that these positions and settling in with phase 2 stuff will kind of come along. We will have I think our parties are kind of set and filled for the week at the moment. So there will be more next week. We're not wanting to overwhelm our staff, especially with the holidays coming up and around. So we are kind of wanting to take things chill. If you are wanting to group up yourself with a bunch of friends, though, you're welcome to take a look at our Looking for Group channel that is underneath the current Chaotic 24-man Forb. Other minor housekeeping things. There will be a survey coming out to you from your DMs from the bot. Please make sure at this time, if you go into your settings for, I think it's under privacy, to make sure that you are okay getting DMs from the server. I think it's under setting. I forget where it is. I will put something in the chat here. I need to double check where it is. But you should have a option underneath to make sure that you get DMs, so that way the bot will DM you. Does anyone have any questions, fears, jubilations, anxieties, celebrations?